In the Tour de France, the peloton will make its way to the Mediterranean coast and the flatlands around this part. Hello, welcome to stage 13 of the Tour de France on a day when the sprinters are expected to return. This is the tribune for the radio commentators who follow this great race. Well, over the last couple of weeks, we've tried to highlight the importance of the support crews that follow the Tour de France. Today, we thought we'd check out the personnel who are in the vehicles directly behind the riders and the decisions, the quick decisions they have to make.
Je m'appelle Gérard Monéron, j'ai été professionnel 8 ans, j'ai fait 7 Tours de France à la grande époque de Merckx, Poulidor, Ocaña et tant d'autres.
Most stages, especially on flat terrain, the Tour de France uses 3 cars, 2 at the front, 1 at the back. But sometimes in the mountains, the support vehicles use motorbikes because the roads are much narrower. It's the Mavic car that actually goes behind the breakaway. Its job is to look after the rider who has crashed or got a flat tyre or if something breaks on his bicycle. If he needs to change his bike, what they do immediately is hand him a brand new one so he can get back into the race as quickly as possible. The support staff help him get going. Most likely, that general all-purpose bike is not suited to the rider's specific requirements. However, the team manager can go back any time later to change the bike and give the rider one that fits perfectly. If a rider has a flat tyre, there's a variety of wheels because actually all the bikes used are completely different, so every possible situation needs to be covered while on the road. The Mavic car also has different gears as well, since there's a difference between riding on the flat compared to the mountain passes, which requires bigger sprockets. To change a wheel, it's very important to be able to stop very quickly so that the team mechanic can get out, and when he tries to change the wheel, if done properly, it shouldn't take more than about 20 seconds. There are many more flat tyres, especially on days when it's raining, because what happens is the rain actually washes small stones out onto the road, and those small stones get stuck into the rubber. Slowly but surely they slice their way through the tyre.
Oh, and he's gone, he's overshot. Vinokurov skids and misses him. There's another crash, a massive pile-up on that bend.
And occasionally, when the weather is extremely hot, support staff are authorised by the race referees to pass out bottles of water to the riders as well.
C'est la configuration particulière, justement. Mais de temps en temps, on fait office de buvette un petit peu.
The Tour de France is in the south of the country today, certainly different but beautiful landscape from the terrain through the French Alps of the last few days. At 173 kilometres, it's one of the shorter stages of the 3-week tour, and as you can see, it's virtually flat all the way into the city of Montpellier. Very warm conditions on the southern coastline with the thermometer nudging 32 degrees. Taking in fluids is certainly going to be a priority. The incredible speed of the Tour's 13 days hasn't let up as a 5-man break moved away from the front after just 17 kilometres. In it were Juan Antonio Fletcher, Carlos de Cruz, Ludovic Turpin, Chris Horner and the hero of the 2004 Tour for the French, Thomas Voeckler. They worked considerably hard to stay away and at one stage opened up a time gap of 9.5 minutes. This prompted a response from Robbie McEwen's team, Davidomon Lotto. The Aussie national champion sensing this might be another opportunity to claim a stage victory. And with speeds averaging 48 kilometres per hour, the tempo quickened with every pedal. Perhaps the hard luck story belonged to Alejandro Valverde. The Spaniard was forced to retire because of a tendinitis problem. He broke down when learning his tour was over. Here's Phil Liggett and Paul Sherwin with the commentary.
Armstrong there, licking his lips in anticipation. Well, I don't think it'll be today. It's just a matter of getting home today, using as little energy as possible, because tomorrow everybody's going to use any reserves they've got. We're into the Pyrenees. Smile today, tomorrow it's all grimace, Lance. He's saying a lot of wind.
He seems, I've never seen him ride the Tour de France in such a relaxed atmosphere. He's not actually talking at the moment. Or is he? How about this for admiration? That is one of the Texas Longhorns there. This man has got himself sorted out, and he's showing the Lone Star State flag there, and managed to pull himself off. It really is quite remarkable how these people will come and try and show themselves at the side of the road.
All the leaders' jerseys today. There's been a lead over one change, of course, the sad retirement of Alessandro Valverde today. That's the third time, Paul, we've lost the rider in the leader's jersey on this tour. Zabriskie going in yellow in effect, and Lance not wanting to take it off him. We've had the green jersey of Bone and Go, and now we've had the white jersey of Valverde. I think the motto is don't get the lead.
Well, don't tell that to Lance Armstrong, because he's in the lead, and he's comfortably in the lead with a 38-second advantage. And this is a very strange position there for one of the riders from Euskaltel-Euskadi at the back. That was Inigo Landerloos, and I'm not quite sure what he had underneath his jersey. It was probably a couple of extra bottles. These roads in this part of France are very hard racing roads. They're not smooth at all. They're a strange kind of surface. It feels actually very often as if you've got glue on the outside of your tyre, because it really reduces the rolling resistance, or I should say increases the rolling resistance you get. It's as if you're actually stuck to the road in situations like this, and these riders are pretty much suffering like dogs to try and keep their lead. As we see, the man setting the pace on the incline here is Chris Horner. Horner doing a great job in the Tour de France this year, 29th overall.
That crowd on this climb as well, enjoying a beautiful day here in the south of France. It's pretty typical summer's day, I might add, because it's always hot down here. And Ludovic Turpin flying the flag. The French, you know, don't have a great tour these years, because it's 20 years since Bernardino last won it. But now they can hold their heads up after yesterday with David Moncoutier, who has done extremely well.
There's the green jersey, Thor Hushovd. He's worn the green jersey previously in the Tour de France, and he's also been aware of the yellow jersey. But here he looks pretty comfortable.
Hushovd, Paul, is still sitting at the back, which I think is a little bit unwise, because they're going to catch this breakaway for sure now. About another 5 or 10 kilometres. Hushovd, remember, second time he's worn the green jersey, the only Norwegian ever to wear the green jersey. 27 years of age, the perfect age now to start riding at the top of your career. Basic strength is sprinting, but you know he's also pretty good at staying on the flatter roads too.
And he's a big boy, you know. So he measures in at 6 foot and weighs 178 pounds. And that's mostly the big brawn, which has produced some incredible sprints. He's won himself 2 stages in the Tour in the past. He won in Bourg-en-Bresse back in 2002. And he won that dramatic sprint in Quimper last year, where he just caught Fabian Cancellara right down towards the end.
But what with the current fine riding of Hushovd and Michael Rasmussen and the Swedish rider here, Magnus Backstedt, the Scandinavian people have found themselves a new summer preoccupation. They are flooding into France to watch these riders in the Tour de France. It's quite amazing how it has boosted the interest in the sport in Scandinavia.
Yeah, I know. I should have bought that camping car stock a couple of years ago.
Yes, I think you're right, because camping cars, you can't hire one for love nor money at this time of the year in France. Get your booking in a year ahead if you want one over here, because that's how they travel the course. Le Pic Saint-Loup, and what a lovely piece of scenery that is. France does seem to have it, everything, doesn't it? As we now race way down in the valley, there's no big climbs for the riders today. We're on the flat road to Montpellier. But we are going to see some stunning mountains from tomorrow, when we're heading high up into the Pyrenees for the next 3 days of the tour, with a rest day in between.